Let us see the procedure to make a corner bridle joint. Step 1. Cut the tenon and mortise member to the requisite size. Select and mark the face side and edge. Step 2. Use the tenon member as a guide to mark the exact width on the mortise member. Measure and mark the mortise on the wooden piece. Extend the lines all around the wooden piece using the tri-square and a sharp pencil. This will set the depth of the mortise. Similarly, mark the width of the mortise member on the tenon member. This will set the length of the tenon. Step 3. Next, we must determine the thickness of the mortise and the tenon. Remember, when making the mortise and tenon joint, the general rule is to make the thickness of the mortise 1/3 of the thickness of the wood. The same applies to the bridle joint. To do this, you must first adjust the mortise gauge. Centralize the gauge. Gouge lines on both edges from the shoulder line to the end of the wood. Also gouge a line on the top of the piece. Do this on both the mortise member and the tenon member. Once both pieces have been gouged, check out the alignment. Step 4. Support the wooden piece and secure it with the G-clamp to hold it firm on the workbench. Remember to place scrap wooden piece under the jaw of the clamp. It's now time to cut down to the shoulder lines on both pieces. Remember to cut on the waist side of the gouge lines. Step 5. Let's start by cutting the mortise member. To make it easier, you can drill holes in the mortise member. Select a drill that is close to the width of the mortise. Drill a hole in the center just above the shoulder line. Drill all the way through the wood till the edge. Make a series of holes to the width of the mortise. Clean the work area of the wooden particles left behind after drilling. Loosen the clamp and adjust the wooden piece on the workbench. Here we are using a chisel. With a bevel edge chisel, chisel down to the hole on the waist side of the gouge lines. Make sure you don't go past the shoulder line. Square up the round edges left by the drill hole. Swap the workpiece to the other side and pare out the remaining waste. And your mortise is ready. Step 6. Let's now prepare the tenon member. Secure the wooden piece to the bench vise. Use the handsaw to cut along the gouge line on both sides. Make sure not to overrun the shoulder line. Step 7. Release it from the bench vise and clamp and support it to the bench top on the workbench and saw down along the shoulder line to cut off the waist till the tenon. Loosen the clamp and swap the piece and saw down along the shoulder line to cut off the remaining waist till the tenon. Use the mallet and the chisel carefully to smoothen the rough edges and straighten the tenon. Step 8. When done, dry fit the tenon into the mortise to see if they fit snugly. If the tenon is a bit tight, clean it up with a beveled edge chisel. Step 9. Now with a brush, apply some glue to the joining parts of the tenon and inside the mortise. Slide the tenon into the mortise and join the pieces together. Then clamp the pieces together on a T-bar clamp until glue dries. Wipe off any excess glue with a damp cloth. Tap it with a mallet if required to align. This completes your corner bridle joint. Let's look at the procedure once again. Step 1. Cut the wooden pieces to size and mark the face and edge side. Step 2. Mark the width and depth for the mortise and tenon. Step 3. Mark the mortise and tenon guides with a mortise gauge. Step 4. Secure the wooden piece firmly to the bench top with a G-clamp for support. Step 5. Cut out the mortise member. Step 6. Secure the wooden piece to the bench vise and cut out the tenon. Step 7. Cut out the tenon member. Step 8. Dry fit the tenon into the mortise to see if they fit snugly. Step 9. Assemble both the members.